Hi, this is Todd. I'm the founder of barexamdoctor.com. I've got Stan here. Say hi, Stan.
Hi there.
Dr. Stan, actually. We call of all of our graders doctors just to have a little fun. As you can see from our little setup here, we're wearing lab coats and stethoscopes. The bar exam experience doesn't have to all be so miserable. They're kind of we can have a little fun here. And so for this week's highlights, Dr. Stan and I are going to go over a few different things that we've noticed from our recent students. And want to talk a little bit first about barexamdoctor.com. We've been in business for over about 10 years now. I started with a licensed attorney who used to grade for one of the big bar reviews out there, and we used things that he learned over the years to help create this program. And one of the things that we do is we have online essays and PTs from the bar examiners, and we have probably over 200 now essays and a ton of PTs with the new format. And the way it works is that basically when you do the exam on our website, it goes into a portal, it gets assigned to one of our graders, they grade it, they put comments on your answer, they give you a model answer, they fill out a feedback form, and you get access to a database where we have thousands of other students that have done the same questions. So you get a lot of feedback, and you get the feedback on theirs too. So you can see a lot of ways to get to the same answer here. And the funny thing is, as I mentioned in the past videos, we created this program years before the bar exam went virtual. So we were kind of ahead of the game in terms of PTs and essays. One of the things that I wanted to create a long time ago was to practice the PT specifically online, because I couldn't find anything at that time years ago where you could do a performance test online. And I thought these giant books, and I want to be able to do that where I can do it on my screen and not have to print, 20, 25 pages. So funny enough, the books are a little smaller now, and the base is all virtual. So basically now when you're practicing on our website, it's almost like the real thing, and we try to model as close as we can to it. And that one other note I wanted to just throw in there, one of the things I want to talk about this bar exam review on this weekly video is the PTs. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need to practice PTs because I'm a paralegal in a law firm and I've seen pleadings and so forth." And the funny thing is, I've been clerking for over 20 years now, since I did it start straight out of actually when I was in undergrad. And I have been a paralegal for many years and done different things. And the funny thing is it's different, right? Just because you prep a complaint or a motion does not mean that you're doing the struggling that is required to do a good PT. A lot of lawyers, unfortunately, use forms. If you do a complaint or a motion, you say, "Hey, go get me a sample." Well, in the bar exam, it's different. Right? The bar exam, they give you the books or they give you the materials, the file in the library, and they force you to actually think through how you're going to lay out your arguments, how you're going to lay out your facts, the fact pattern. And so it's different. It's not like, "Oh, I already am a paralegal, I can do this in my sleep." And look, if that was that simple, then we would probably have created a performance test section. And I'd say 99% of our students sign up for the PT and essay sections because they need to practice both. And we find that the writing issues that they have do come in parallel with the essays and PTs, and the struggling of how to lay out in still an IRAC type format answer, it comes across in the same way on a PT. So on that note, I'm going to pass over to Dr. Stan, and Dr. Stan's going to take over in our conversation. Go ahead, Dr. Stan.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Yeah, as you heard, we are a team of people who some of whom have actually graded actual California bar exams. And, we're a group of experienced attorneys, like some of us are licensed in other states. So we have a large variety of people with both teaching experience and legal experience. Basically, before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping matters. If you're viewing this video after May 7th, then you already know that the February bar exam results were released. The February bar exam takers deadlines, if you took the bar exam, for example, in February and did not complete it successfully, that application period opens May 7th and ends June 1st. As you know, the July 2021 exam is going to be totally online, except for very, very limited accommodation purposes, which the CalBar website goes into great detail. The dates of the exam are July 27th and 28th, and the deadline to have applied for that was April 1st, because this is being filmed after April 1st. The California bar exam consists of a performance exam and 5 essay tests. And Todd spoke a little bit about the performance test. The essays are based on 12 subjects, and those 12 are listed on the California bar website. They're listed kind of in a column, so I would just caution you, don't believe that just because one is listed first or second or third, that they're more important or more likely to be tested than the other subjects. So again, in our earlier videos, I spoke about business associations. I talked about civil procedure. And today I want to talk a little bit about community property. For the most part, whenever you have a community property type of question, you want to begin immediately setting forth the fact that community property in California is a presumption. What I've seen a lot of applicants do in practice bar exams and in reviewing past bar exams where they've taken the bar exam and we get to see what they did or didn't do that resulted in their not passing, they'll come out with just a blanket statement: California is a community property state. That's nuanced, technically not right, because there's a presumption in California that all property is community property. And so you would serve yourself well if you start out by mentioning that it's a presumption as opposed to an absolute positive certain thing. The topics that come up most frequently with community property typically are in family law settings, but they also do rear their heads sometimes in trust and wills questions as well. So just a couple of pointers to help you remember as you get into the flow of studying for your bar exam, and as you will find out in great detail if you sign up with barexamdoctor.com, that's who we are, you will be getting specific guidance and tutoring. One-on-one tutoring is also an available option as well. So back to community property, remember, as I said, community property is a presumption. Important for you to know when the community property estate begins and when the community property estate ends, because those are factors that are often tested, and quite frankly, something you should know when you pass the bar exam and you get into the practice of law. Make sure you know what quasi-community property is and when it applies, and how you identify property as quasi-community property. In California, as in many states, it's important to characterize every asset. So every asset is looked at the time of dissolution by a court. And the same with real estate. You know, there's different ways of holding title to real estate. So you need to really be sensitive to how the various titles affect legal rights and duties of the various parties involved. The Lucas provisions, if you don't know what the Lucas provisions are, probably want to spend some time reviewing them, because they are typically embedded in a discussion in family law community property cases. A few other items: know how parties can change the character of community property, know how conveyances and distributions are handled, and lastly, don't forget about creditors, because creditors are impacted by community property laws. And so what a creditor's rights are when the community property estate is intact, the period of time between when the community property estate ends and there's an actual dissolution. You know, all those time factors have various impacts, as you might imagine. So I would just suggest that you pay close attention to how graders like myself have been grading community property practice exams on barexamdoctor.com. And when you sign up with us, you'll see that you also will have access to the model answers that are provided, and you can take a look at how people like me grade answers, practice answers, vis-a-vis the model answers. And then, of course, you have your past bar exams at a couple of different sites. Of course, the CalBar site. UC Hastings also has a list of past bar exams as well. So that's basically it for me for now, and I'm going to turn it over to Todd for a wrap-up. Todd?
Thanks, Dr. Stan. So that's basically it for this week. We'll keep you posted on new things that we learned from our students. We still have some time right now. It's It's only April. Lucky enough, we still probably have a good solid month before we probably getting really busy, but we do sell out and we don't take 1 million people. Like I said in our past videos, in the October bar exam, we probably had our highest pass rate in the entire history of bar exam doctor because that was one of the first times where the bar exam went virtual and they gave everyone more and more time to practice. So we look forward to trying to help you and we will talk to you soon. See you later.